Today we're looking at some lead source analysis using data from Salesforce. We imported using the coefficient add-on. If you don't have the coefficient add-on, go to extensions, add-ons, get add-ons, and then search for coefficient in the add-on store. When you have it installed, you can use it to sync your data from many different sources in the Google Sheets. Now that we have our data in here, let's go ahead and make a report to assess the performance of our leads by deal source. So we have a basic table created here. So let's just pull in some basic numbers here. So first of all, for leads, let's just do a count ifs on this column, and then we'll just compare it to our metric right there. We'll go ahead and let that copy down. So conversions, we can do the same thing, but we'll have to add one more. So we'll change this to a count ifs, so we can do multiple criteria. So we'll leave it for this for now. And then we need to look at here, and we need to figure out when it's closed. And so closed would be closed 1 here in this stage column, which is F. So we're going to go ahead and add this here. Change this to F, and then closed 1. Now we can see our conversions. Go ahead and drag that down. Just copy this format back over here. And this needs to be actually the sum. There's our leads and conversions. Conversion rate is pretty simple. Let's do a quick formula here. And there's our conversion. Let's go ahead and just drag this out manually. And then we'll just copy this formula. And then we'll do paste special and formula only. So finally for revenue, we're not going to need count ifs, we're going to need sum ifs. So let's do sum ifs, and let's tab over here. So we need expected amount, where this equals closed 1, and where our lead source is equal to our lead source here. So we close that out. Now we have our revenue. Go ahead and drag this down, and then add our final sum here. So now we have our leads, conversions, conversion percentage, and revenue. So let's make a quick chart to demonstrate our conversion and revenue in a visual format. So let's do chart, and then we'll pick what we want over here. So let's get rid of leads for now, and we'll get rid of conversions, and let's do this chart will be conversions, and you can see our conversion rates now. We can make these a little smaller, and now let's make the same thing but for revenue. So we'll just copy this chart, and we'll open it back up, and we'll just switch this to revenue. And then looks like we might need to change these again. A little smaller there. And there we have our conversion percentage and our revenue. Now let's do one more thing here is let's take a look at how much revenue we have for each status. So for that, we're going to need a pivot table. If you don't know how to build a pivot table, you can actually use Coefficient to help you build it. So we're going to go ahead and launch the Coefficient add-on here. And then we can go ahead and go to GPT Copilot and then Pivot Builder. Let's select our data range here. And then we're going to go ahead and delete that inner reference so it picks the whole table. And now we're going to describe the pivot table we want to make. So in this case, we want to see, so we'll call this summarize by deal source. And then let's go ahead and do stage across the top. So we'll call this pivot by stage and show sum of expected amount. And so this should give us what we need. Let's go ahead and click build. And then let's go ahead and do existing sheet. Let's put it on the summary starting here and click insert. Now we have our pivot table. You can go ahead and close this now if you like. And now we have our report build out. We have our lead sources with our overall stats here. You can see a breakdown by conversion rate here and breakdown by revenue. Then we have a quick pivot table, and we can see how much revenue is in each status. So we can see here, closed 1 by each deal source, but we can also see where our potential revenue is in all these other categories. All right, that is it for today. Thanks for watching.